doing stand-up is a very, very good laxative. Good evening, I'm Jonathan Wyatt. I'm a counsellor. A counsellor, not a counsellor. I'm a therapist, I'm not an elected member. I'm a counsellor, a therapist. My research is about what takes place in the counselling room. The stories from our lives that we bring there, how we talk about them there, the stories that we tell about what takes place there. So, it's mostly stories of pain, loss, and grief. Sometimes of hope, intimacy, and love. Counselling is serious, and it's not that funny. I don't deal in numbers. I used to. When I worked for the NHS in a doctor's surgery, I had to fill in forms with people each time I saw them, with questions like, on a scale of 1 to 5, how close to despair are you? Where 1 is despair, I laugh in your face. 5 is despair and me, we have a joint mortgage. So I had to do those questionnaires with patients every time I saw them, at the end of every session, so that we could tell, apparently, whether or not the counselling was working, how good a job I was doing. In 7 minutes' time, I'm going to ask you the question. So no, I don't deal in numbers, I'm interested in the counsellor's stories. And I did have a line there, and it's counselling is serious, it's not that funny, and it's private. I can't just run from the counselling room and type, you'll never guess what she just said. I can adjust the details, I can change names, I can wait a long time to publish, I can ask people's permission, so it's possible, but it's tricky. So I'm also interested in the counsellor's stories, what it's like to be a therapist, how we understand what takes place there, about how we experience it. Because at least then it's about the counsellor and not the client. It's the counsellor's stories, not the client's stories. It's my stories, not theirs. So I don't think I'm breaching any ethical boundaries when I tell you that I once slept with a client. I worked at the doctor's surgery on Wednesdays. This particular week, I had been to a conference in the States, flown back on the Monday. It was the final session of my day on the Wednesday, about 5:45 p.m, and I was seeing Ellie. Ellie was telling me a story from her week about how she had fallen out with a colleague at work over a stapler. And I want to reassure you at this point that I am changing the details of the story. It's actually a hole punch. Anyway, she's telling me about the stapler. And please bear in mind this is 48 hours after a long-haul flight, a transatlantic flight, a long transatlantic flight, the wrong way, and a very, very, very hectic conference. So she's telling me about the stapler, and I wake up, telling me the story of falling out with her partner the evening before while watching Silent Witness. From the stapler to Silent Witness, I had gone. Drifted off. A few seconds, a minute, maybe more, I don't know. However long it takes to get from office equipment to bad crime drama. Ellie didn't notice, apparently. Or at least if she did, she didn't care. Maybe I was a better therapist when I was asleep. Or maybe she didn't have the heart to tell me. Or maybe she couldn't get angry with me. Maybe she couldn't say, "Oi, Jonathan, counsellor, wake the fuck up!" Yeah, that was Ellie, the client I slept with. She came back the next week. I fell asleep on another client too. In the long gap between my morning and afternoon clients, I would sometimes wander home, have a little snack, and a little lie down. It's tiring business, all this is. This one afternoon, though, I woke up with so professional. This afternoon afternoon I woke up at, what time was it? 4:30 p.m. I was 15 minutes late for my first client of the afternoon, Peter. I leapt up from the sofa, I raced back to the surgery and found him sitting, waiting, patiently reading. I grovelled, I tried to explain, I offered him an extra session. He came back the next week too. Serious, private, not that funny. Especially when the reason why Peter first came to see me was because he felt invisible. So talking about clients is problematic, telling clients stories is problematic. When you talk about being a counsellor, you talk about clients. So another angle on this kind of research is to focus instead upon your own experience, your own stories of pain, loss and grief. My own stories of pain, loss and grief. So I could tell you about the episode in the Swiss hotel spa involving a minor cultural misunderstanding about dress code. There was the excruciating pain of my embarrassment, the loss of my dignity, and grief for my pride. And you'll be pleased to hear, relieved to hear perhaps, that there was also a non-elected member. However, I can't talk about that. I've never talked about that, not even with my therapist. Therapists have therapists. It's a pyramid scheme. So instead I'll tell you an easier story, sleep-related again, longer-term sleep, the moment my dad died. You've had politics, you've had sex, now you've got death. Right? So we're gathered around his hospital bed, my brother Simon, my sister Nicola, my mother and me. Our sister Mary too. She wasn't my sister, you understand, that was Nicola. Sister Mary was a random nun. And we telling our dad old familiar stories, we tell him what a great dad he's been. We tell him we're going to look after Mum. Sister Mary asks if she can pray. And my brother Simon prays too, God's victory over death, that kind of thing. So now you've got religion as well. Silence. Dad breathes in, breathes out, and then he's gone. That's it. Stillness. The sound of traffic outside the window, comings and goings in the corridor. And then Dad sits up. Slow, steady, not far, but further than you'd expect of a dead man. Cars crash. There's screams from the corridor. We all leap up from our seats, and my knee releases the neat little green button that it's been pressed against while we've been sat down on Such stories are indeed serious and private most of the time. And on a scale of 1 to 5, pretty close to fucking funny. I've been Jonathan Wyatt, counsellor. Thank you very much for listening.